Under a crescent moonlight sky, the grand cathedral stood in silence, bathed in silver light. Inside, moonlight pierced through the stained glass, casting a soft, sacred glow across the empty hall. The air was quiet, but something stirred faintly in the shadow below. From the darkness beneath the cathedral's glowing window, a violent struggle erupted. A young man moved swiftly, locking his arm around an older attacker's neck in a silent but fierce takedown. His eyes were sharp with focus, calm yet deadly. With a brutal slam, he knocked the man unconscious and stood up quickly, breath steady, eyes scanning for the next threat. The silence returned, but now with tension. Under the dim warehouse lights, a masked man appeared. "We've been expecting you, Naruz," he said coldly. "Looks like you've fallen right into our trap." Naruz tensed as the man added, "It seems you haven't identified our mastermind yet." Naruz dashed in with sharp focus. The masked man taunted calmly, "If you can defeat me, you might just escape successfully." Without hesitation, he lunged swift and precise, forcing Naruz into a deadly dance. Naruz and the masked man clashed violently. Fists flew, bodies spun. In one swift move, Naruz flipped him down, hitting the floor hard. The masked man, unfazed, began to chant coldly, "10,000 beings of heaven and earth." The masked man grips tightly, saying, "Descend upon the mortal realm." His hold tightens and the tension builds. The struggle intensifies, the forceful grip creating an overwhelming atmosphere. The fight's reaching its peak, every movement sharp and quick. The man grits his teeth in pain, shouting, "Gaga!" as he struggles. The masked figure continues, "10,000 beings of heaven and earth descend upon the mortal realm." The fight escalates, with the tension reaching a boiling point. The man clenches his fist, fighting back against the relentless pressure. With a sharp "Pam!" the boxer strikes, but the opponent dodges effortlessly. The commentator narrates, "1, 2, she dodged that." In the next moment, the fighter, Tachibana, swiftly closes the distance with a well-executed sidestep, preparing for her next move. Tachibana swiftly closes the distance with a well-executed sidestep, preparing for her next move. With a swift left body blow followed by a powerful right hook, the crowd roars. "A right hook!" the commentator exclaims, as the force lands, visibly shaken by the hit. "Oh, Wakita loses her balance." With precision and force, the fighter lands a devastating right straight. The commentator shouts, "It's a clean shot," and the crowd reacts in excitement. "It's a hit!" the announcer exclaims as the impact sends shockwaves through the ring. The intense fight reaches its climax as one fighter collapses to the ground, blood dripping from a gash on his forehead. The punch landed perfectly, sending him into a dazed state. Meanwhile, his opponent stands tall, eyes focused and unwavering. The defeated fighter lets out strained breaths. Ha! Ha ha! While his opponent watches, unmoved, ready for whatever comes next. The scene shifts to a dimly lit room, where the man is bound to a structure, his arms spread wide. Shadows of hooded figures encircle him, as eerie whispers fill the air. A cold knife glints in one of the figure's hands. The tension rises, amplified by the rattling chains that echo through the room. The figure stands still, poised, preparing to carry out their ominous task. The man in the mask declares ominously, "Now, my brethren." A terrifying command follows as he continues, "Behead all of you." The menacing voice echoes in the air, leaving an unsettling silence. The chilling expression on the man's face is matched only by the tension in the room, where danger lurks. A man with an intense and defiant expression glares at the scene ahead. His voice breaks the heavy silence. Are you going to get blown away by Rand's knuckles?" The tension builds as his words hang in the air, the anticipation of what's to come making the moment even more intense. The man's sinister smile grows wider as he speaks, his voice dripping with a mocking tone. "Pay your respects to Shuji's sacrifice." His words hang in the air, charged with a chilling significance as the intense atmosphere continues to build. With a brutal cry, the man swings the sword. Ah! The sound of metal cutting through flesh fills the air. Blood sprays, painting the ground red. His face twists into a triumphant grin as he watches the destruction unfold. A man is struck, letting out a terrified "Eek!" as blood pours down. Despite the pain, he smiles eerily, and someone asks, "Is he laughing?" He lets out a chilling laugh. Tachibana celebrates her victory with a wide grin. The referee announces, Tachibana wins. Tachibana is skipping rope in the gym, a focused expression on her face. The trainer remarks, You just had a match yesterday and you're already training? She replies, I thought I'd move my body a bit before my part-time job. The trainer, impressed, says, 5 matches of KOS undefeated. You're an in-fighter that gets the crowd going? You should be lined up for a higher-ranked match soon. The trainer enthusiastically says, I'll be actively promoting too. Tachibana smiles and replies, Let's do our best together. The scene transitions to the outside of the boxing gym, where Tachibana walks out. Ready for her next challenge, Tachibana is caught off guard as a voice suddenly calls out, Detective Suzuki! She looks towards the direction of the voice, clearly surprised. The man grins. Ran, how have you been? She raises an eyebrow, clearly puzzled, and responds, What's going on? Showing up suddenly without any notice? Her curiosity is piqued, unsure of the man's intentions. The man, looking serious, asks, Haven't you seen the news? Tachibana, a bit confused, responds, The news, you say? He continues, A headless body was found at a river mouth in the city. Tachibana, shocked, asks, What? It turns out, it's been identified as Shuji Naruse, said the man. Tachibana, now more serious, asks, How can you tell it's Naruse without a head? Are you sure? The man replies, The fingerprints matched. There were marks on the wrists and ankles where he was tied up with multiple bruises all over his body. Detective Suzuki looks grim as he explains, It seems he was assaulted, then tied up before his head was cut off. Ran listens carefully. He continues, The investigation has just begun, so we don't know much yet. If it looks like you and Yuzu might be in danger, I'll contact you right away. The woman turned with a calm, appreciative expression. Thank you, detective. But as she stepped away, her face changed. Her eyes widened, disbelief creeping in. This can't be true. She looked tense, her breath caught. Her pace quickened, fists clenched as the truth hit her. Naruse was murdered? Her voice trembled with shock. Rain froze, eyes wide, her mind spinning. What on earth happened? She looked around, confused and alarmed. Suddenly, excited voices broke through the tension. Kia! Rain! Can I take a picture? Please give me your autograph. She blinked, caught off guard, but answered politely. Oh, sure. As she signed, her expression grew thoughtful. She only appeared on a martial arts YouTube channel a little. She never thought I'd become this famous. Later that evening, under the quiet city lights, a man in a cap watched silently from the shadows, his face unreadable. A text popped into his thoughts. My cooking team clashed with it. Elsewhere, in a brightly lit kitchen, a cheerful blonde smiled while holding a drink. Your match yesterday, so I couldn't cheer you on. I'll make you my special pasta to celebrate. From the counter, a girl replied dryly, head down, clearly tired. It'll be ready soon, so wait a bit. Later that night, the girls sat in the kitchen, the mood calm and open. The dark-haired girl asked with curiosity, How did the exam go? She let out a sigh of relief, stretching her legs. I'm so glad I didn't go to university. The blonde laughed brightly. Cooking is so much fun. Even if I fail, I'll take it again. Her friend smiled at that energy. That's good then. She sounded genuinely glad. As the peaceful night continued, a breaking news report played on TV. A headless body was discovered at a river mouth early this morning. Murder and body abandonment case. The girl quietly turned off the screen, her face tense. The room felt heavier. Her expression tightened as she asked softly, Yule, it's better if she doesn't know, right? If... She looked worried, trying to protect someone. Just then, a cheerful voice broke the tension. Special pasta is ready. 2 warm plates hit the table with a comforting aroma. Please enjoy. The night settled in, the apartment lights dimmed as the girls went to bed. Outside, the city was quiet, too quiet. Suddenly, a scream pierced the silence. Yuzu jolted up in bed, eyes wide with fear, clutching her blanket tightly. From another room, a worried voice called out, Yuzu! A little girl, teary-eyed, runs to her older sister in the quiet of the night. Big sis. The older sister kneels, concern on her face. Did you have another scary dream? Yeah. She gently embraces her, calming her trembling shoulders. It's okay, your big sister is here for you. The warmth of her hug soothes the nightmare away. Still trembling, the younger girl whispers, It's okay. Suddenly, her eyes widen in shock. A glowing figure materializes, blue light radiates from a tall man standing silently before them. The air thickens. Her gaze locks onto the mysterious, radiant figure. The nightmare may not be over yet. The glowing man's form begins to shimmer, pixelating at the edges as if fading from another world. The sisters stare in disbelief, frozen in each other's arms as the figure turns his gaze toward them. From the light, a voice calls out gently, Ran! His glowing lips tremble as he repeats faintly, Run! Ran gasps, wide eyed, Naruse! Could it really be him? Her sister clutches tighter, confused. Big sis? But Ran, now alert, rises slowly, something pulling her forward. As the room grows still, a soft vibration breaks the silence. Ran's phone lights up. Her little sister whispers, Big sis, your phone is ringing. Ran checks the screen, eyes widening. Detective Suzuki? Something serious is coming. Ran quickly answers, her voice anxious. Detective Suzuki? On the other end, his tone is hesitant. I'm not sure if I should be doing this, but I believe in you. Her heart races. Is something wrong? He exhales deeply. You're suspected of killing Naruse. Evidence has come up. The world seems to stop. Rand stands frozen in her room, eyes wide with fear as the voice on the phone says, The police are on their way there now. Her breath catches in her throat, panic rising. Run away quickly. Everything changes in that moment. As the detective's warning echoes, You're suspected of killing Naruse. Evidence has come up. Panic rises fast. He adds urgently, The police are on their way there now. Run away quickly. A moment of fear. A choice must be made. They dash through the night, fear gripping their hearts. A voice calls out, Where are you going so late at night? But she only shouts back, I'll explain later. There's no time, just urgency and trust. It's 2 a.m. right now. You know I'm not moving from here until you explain properly. Yuzu, still shaken by the events, pauses, hands on her hips. Yuzu, listen without getting surprised. A deep breath before the revelation. Junin is targeting me. The weight of her words hangs in the air, a threat bigger than anything they've faced before. Yuzu's voice rises in disbelief as they step into the bustling club, lights flashing around them. Is that true? Why so suddenly? Nothing's happened lately. The music pulses, but there's tension in her voice, the words mixing with the rhythm as her sister responds. Hey, sis, are you listening? What are you thinking, going to a club at a time like this? The scene intensifies as they confront the distractions in the midst of rising danger. The atmosphere inside the club grows louder as the music thumps through the speakers. Yuzu, clearly impatient and concerned, calls out, Sis, come on! Her words are almost drowned by the vibrant beats that fill the space, but her concern is unmistakable. As the crowd sways, Gina, almost lost in the flashing lights, begins to lose herself in the rhythm. Then, a sudden call breaks through the haze. Gina! Her name cuts through the noise, a stark reminder of the dangers that are closing in around them. The music blasts as Gina dances, the DJ's hands moving across the controls. Did you come to see Gina? Yuzu, more serious, replies, You should have said so from the start. Yuzu looks around and adds, One more person is supposed to come. Yuzu and Jaina stop in surprise as a man steps in. Eek! The man, with a serious tone, says, You suddenly contact me and then this? Yuzu, confused, asks, Being targeted by Junin? Kido answers, When did you? He smirks and continues, You really surprised me. Yuzu ran. It's rare to see you two at the club. As they walk, Jaina excitedly says, Oh, Kido's here too? Getting togged there at this hour, she looks over at the others, grinning. Don't tell me a championship match has been decided for Ran? Kido responds with a laugh. What's wrong? Why does everyone look so serious? He notices their tense expressions. You all look like you've bitten into something sour. As the beat plays in the background, someone calls out, Gina, you're on soon. Jaina responds casually, I'm done for today. She then turns to Kito and adds, Tell the boss that too. Yuzu Ran, amused, says, Just because you're a popular DJ doesn't mean you can get cocky. You'll find up fired at this rate. Yuzu Ran, noticing Jaina's relaxed attitude, teases, You're getting pretty cocky. You'll end up fired at this rate. Jaina doesn't seem bothered and then says, Naruse is dead, and Ran is being treated as the culprit, and Junin is involved in this? Yuzu Ran raises an eyebrow. Wasn't Junin supposed to be destroyed? Jaina looks at Yuzu Ran seriously and responds, Yoki Nikaido was removed as the successor to the Daito group and sent overseas. The secretary director, or whatever was assigned, right? The scene continues with Yuzu Ran, still deep in thought. She listens as Kito speaks. We saw the news too and thought it was finally resolved, but Kito pauses before continuing. Naruse was saying it wasn't over yet and that he'd exposed the truth about Junin. Jaina, showing a hint of frustration, responds, We rejected that proposal. Yuzu Ran listens as Jaina continues, a thoughtful expression on her face. To be honest, Naruse was a bit of an oddball. He was the type to lie without hesitation, wasn't he? Jaina pauses for a moment, her voice now more serious. He was saying Junin wasn't just a gathering of successors, but a criminal organization created by chairmen of large corporations. She then shakes her head in disbelief. Can you believe such a story? As the tension in the air thickens, Kito turns to face Gina, his expression serious. There's just one thing I want to confirm. He looks directly at her with a sharp gaze. You really didn't kill him, did you? Yuzu's voice breaks the silence as she calls out to Kito, but she quickly adds, Mr. Kito. She steps forward, her tone more pointed now. I mean, you hated Naruse, right? Then she glances at him sharply, continuing with a smirk. For someone like you who can take down sword-wielding opponents with just your knuckles, Naruse would be a piece of cake. With a challenging look, Yuzu's voice rings out. The same goes for you, Mr. Kito. She doesn't hold back, her words sharp as she continues. When you were in Junin, you were eating people up almost every day. Jaina nods, adding in a voice laced with confidence. Both of you under Junin. She pauses for a moment before her eyes narrow. Narusa died from having his throat cut. Jaina's gaze sharpens as she speaks. You can suspect me all you want. She pauses, then adds with an air of defiance, but I didn't hate Naruse enough to want to kill him. In the background, the camera blinks, capturing every word. A shocking scene played on the monitor, someone stabbed. Blood everywhere. The investigator's voice was tense as he recalled the moment. I haven't checked the evidence yet, and I thought there was no way she would kill someone. A bead of sweat slid down his temple, guilt creeping in. So, I told her to run. The footage continued. The person in that video. The camera zoomed in on a blood-soaked figure collapsed with a weapon in hand. Who on earth is it? Tension filled the room. Her face was frozen in shock. Blood smeared across her skin, her wide eyes trembling. In the room, someone confronted her calmly but firmly. So, what are you going to do now? If they find out you're alive, you'll be marked by the police, you know? She gripped her head, overwhelmed, trembling slightly. All I can do is wait for Deceitive Suzuki to contact me. But then, gathering her thoughts, she added with urgency, First, we need to let our comrades who fought against Junin together. She looked up with sharp, determined eyes. Know about this. Her voice was low but firm, filled with urgency. The man beside her raised his brows, then exhaled. Even if you want to tell them, you don't know we they are, right? He glanced away, thinking quickly. We haven't heard from Kamiya since he left on a motorcycle trip around Japan. Far away, a lone figure rode down an open road, masked by a helmet and silence. The motorcyclist continued riding through the countryside, destination unknown. Meanwhile, in another corner of the city, a man sat on the pavement with others, looking troubled. And Katsuhara has been out of contact since his business failed in a nearby group. A man spoke seriously. The only one we can contact is Hanashida. A blonde girl leaned in, curious. Who's Hanashida? A woman with a confident smile answered calmly. He's the new guy who joined us last. His name is Hanashida. The man took out his phone, speaking with quiet urgency. It's late, but let's contact him. It's better to be cautious. He dialed the number. The phone buzzed on the floor, incoming call. Hanashida. Suddenly, a man in black. Hanashida lurched toward it in panic. He slipped violently, thud. The phone kept ringing as he hit the ground hard.